All over town, they're looking for me. They aim to bring me in guilty. Whoa, HFR from the floor in the Manja Kitchen to start today's Friday segment of Market Vitals. Yes, I know we are being recorded. We're going to get to being recorded. Everything, there is no privacy on the planet. Matt, we're in the Manja Kitchen. And I don't know where you found this, but I'm so glad that you shared it. The top 10 dopamine superfoods that make you happy. God knows we need more happiness in this world. Where'd you find it? Or do you even know? It's just, you have so many pipes coming in to your AI engine.
I got so many. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't notate where they come in from. Sorry. I have a hard enough. If you think you have a hard time finding stuff, I am pretty organized, but I can't find it once I've looked at it. It just stays in the memory trap because I have the photographic memory. So that's the
semi photographic, which just means you got a good memory.
Yeah, it's pretty good. But you got to practice that muscle.
Let me share, because I want to talk a little bit here on food and these things, and we're going to talk some price discovery around.
By the way, for me, I like all those foods except for one. So
let me guess, you do not like beetroot.
Gag reflex on beets.
Hey man, check it out. The Amazon delivery guy showed up, and I got, because I ran out because it's so good, and I gotta tell you something. Maybe I should have opened this before, because it's fairly difficult. There it is.
You might need a knife.
I got the Manja bundle. Got to come over this way. Manja bundle, because this stuff is liquid gold right here.
We can't see it.
Yep. Yeah, the Manja Cajun hot sauce. Oh my God!
Again, you got. I mean, I could be your best salesperson. You just need to bring it over to my house because I put hot sauce on everything.
I know you are the hot sauce king.
Yes,
hot sauce king. And you know, let me just show
you. Abe Froman, the hot sauce king.
Abe Froman, the hot sauce king of Bend. Abe Froman. Please, Amazon.com. This is the bundle, the Manja bundle. You get the bacon habanero ketchup. Incredible, solid, talking from the kitchen. It makes the best Thousand Island that you have ever had. And I know you grew up on Thousand Island dressing. You got the Cajun hot sauce, you got the whiskey barbecue sauce, and then you got the shrimp mojo. Please visit Amazon.com, get a Manja bundle and give it to the cook in your life. Somebody's cooking for you if you're not cooking yourself. And all right, man, let's talk some price discovery around food, because
by the way, I could go for some garlic salty pumpkin seeds right now.
By the way, my friend John Carlson swears by the rub and a little extra salt and some oil to make the crispy pumpkin seeds. Oof. With the shrimp mojo. See, it's shrimp mojo, but it goes on a lot of things in here, right?
I was gonna say you can do the almonds.
You can do the almonds, you can do the salmon, you can do the eggs. I mean, I'm telling you, you can a little sprinkle on the eggs. Forget about it.
Well, just a little of the Cajun hot sauce on the eggs.
Oh, for sure. All right, man. Let's look at Hershey's. Hershey's, your great American chocolate bar. We always we like to talk shit. Let's just say it the way it is. We like to talk shit, but we also like to come back to price discovery with everything that we talk about, or most everything, guaranteed probably.
Yeah, this is again doing very well. Hershey's here just peaking again, new high, 242 a share after trading down to 210 here November 11th. So right into the holidays, they sold off. And then they've rallied back, Bob. So again, I mean, this is a 610 chart. This looks awfully bullish. I mean, you want to look at something that survives in a recession. I'm just saying, this thing looks pretty darn good. This is bullish beyond belief, and I'm just trying to see what the COVID low was on this, because this has not seen much damage. Like when you look at the market, this is one of those few stocks that has not seen much. This has been portfolio proofed, is what I see here.
Well, you know, and it makes sense if it's a dopamine. Obviously, people will buy dopamine foods.
Yes.
And then you add the sugar to this. Forget about it.
So 109 low. The high, the pre-COVID low was 161. So this is all the way back to here, 241. This was looking really good.
And do they pay a dividend on your chocolate sales?
Yeah, they do. 1.72%.
They're gonna have to. No, they're gonna have to kick that up. And I'm sure in every boardroom they understand that. They understand when the 3-year or when the 2-year, when the 5-year, when the 10-year, especially the short-term rates, as they continue to stay elevated, any boardroom member has got to be saying, listen, we got to do something more with our dividend. We don't have 0% rates anymore that we are competing against. And Matt, that's what it's a competition. It's a competition for capital.
Right.
It always has been. Well, until they went to 0 interest rates and fucked the whole thing up. Excuse my friend.
Well, let's look at a couple other food names, just because we're in that season of giving and cooking and all that. We're looking at Kellogg's here, and again, Kellogg's bottomed at 52, now trading 77. So pretty staid and solid here is what I see. Right. Again, this is a portfolio name, but again, what's the dividend on this? 3.2. So almost double what Hershey's is paying. But still, come on, Battle Creek, you got to up your game a little bit.
Matt, do they get the prisoners right from Battle Creek to come over and work in the factory? Is there a work release program there that we're not aware of?
There probably is. Now we're going to look at Kraft Heinz. They merged, obviously, and those two companies together, again, COVID low $20 and recent high here of 45. So again, stayed and true. These are stayed and true names that, should be in the portfolio.
I got to jump in here, Matt, because the bacon habanero ketchup kicks the Heinz or Kraft ketchup. It kicks its ass. It's not even fair, the fight. I'm telling you right now. Between these two, it's like a first round, not TKO, a first round KO in the octagon. The bacon habanero ketchup, forget about it. I'm going to keep throwing this up here, left, right, and center. I'm going to keep pitching for Manja today. You go. Please, I interrupted
again,
you.
We've done Hershey's bullish, we've done Kellogg's bullish, and we've done Kraft Heinz bullish. So I just want to point out that there's always a bull market somewhere, no matter what the market conditions. And these 3 stocks are still hanging in there because people do have to eat. Now I'm going to show you the other side of the equation, the fake food that nobody apparently is spending too much of their holiday.
When you talk, food companies, those charts, again, pictures are worth more than words. I mean, Look at this comparatively.
Yeah. So I've got a couple here just that we have fun with. And one is Oatly. Oatly is not looking very good here, all the way down to $1.46 after peaking at $30.
Get the dog outside, lock him in the bathroom.
And then finally, hey.
Yeah, beyond something, right?
Beyond Meat actually had a little rally this week. It's interesting. We've been talking about how it probably would get a rally soon. And sure enough, we got one, Bob. And I just wanted to point that out, that we were right, spot on. I was not long.
No, we weren't long, but we for sure said, why would you try to capture this last bit of the price discovery if it goes to 0?
Yeah, when it was down there at $10, $11, $8, whatever it was, $9, and then it doubled. It had the pump at 17. But when you get those pumps, that's when you have to sell. Like those are easy short sales, I guess, is what I would say to you. So wait for those moments to come and put the alerts on price. And right now we're kind of stuck in this 11 to 17 range. So you take it away for a minute. I'm going to put him out on the leash here real quick.
All right. Yeah, go ahead. I got some more to share. Oh, for sure. We don't have a name yet for the dog, except pain in the ass at this point. All right. I'm going to get rid of a few things here. Dope foods. And I'm going to leave the kitchen. Watch how fastly, Oatly. Watch how fastly I can do that. Bong, done. And then I want to bring this up. And This is from Bob, and I found the guy's the Twitter handle because we've shared his cartoons several times, and this one is just fantastic. The brain and how it works. I've got COVID again. I got boosted again. I trust the science. Women don't exist. Masks work. I mean, from the narrative in this one is fantastic. And I love how we added the added detail of the few hairs off the head and the few hairs off the back. You can't beat it. But here, let me share here. Man, I'm just going over how awesome this guy is.
I love that. I love that.
And in the world that we live in, right, Matt? He got, and I didn't know this till I was searching to find him. Come on, and I did find him. And he got let go. His name is Bob Moran, and he's got great cartoons. Stick it to the man, stick it in my arm, and he was let.
That one's good,
right? That was great, and he was let go. He was fired from the Telegraph because they can't take a narrative that's like nobody has the capacity to have a dialogue, and nothing greater for dialogue than a cartoon. Nothing greater for dialogue than a cartoon that really is done well and challenges your beliefs, where you have to kind of chuckle like, oh my God, yeah, oh my God, that's great. Stick it to the man, stick it in my arm. Hello. He's just been fantastic. Where's the other one that we've shared before? Follow this guy though, Bob Moran. There it is, Bob's Cartoons.
Perfect.
Great follow.
Wait, hold on. What's he got? 172,000 followers? 117. I mean,
117,000 followers. And
now, if he wasn't being shadow banned, and we can't, let's talk about that a little bit.
Well, absolutely, Matt. That's going to lead us right into our next segment. A segment we do every day until we don't do it, which is how we operate here. But the segment, and we go to the store for this one, Matt. We go to the Absolute Horse store, where you can find lots of stuff, including shit, absolute horse shit. Anyway, in the segment of That's Absolute Horse Shit, firstly, the whole Twitter expose, like you said, the biggest thing here that was absolute horseshit as far as when we talked about it was this guy Jeff Carlton. Used to work for both the CIA and the FBI, and he just deleted his LinkedIn as the Twitter drop number 2 came. It's absolute horseshit what went on there, and nobody gives a shit. So maybe that's absolute horseshit too. And let's stay on the narrative. Just obtuse timing, maybe. Why wouldn't they have had the prisoner swap at the beginning of next week? Why let go the biggest arms dealer the world has ever seen, and then go speak to the gun violence, the 10th annual vigil for gun violence? It's unbelievable. Like, how do you have that bad of optics on what you're doing? It's beyond belief. It's beyond belief. And then
you think he cares? You think he's even thinking about strategy? I mean, come on.
And then those tough battle-tested unionists at the New York Times, we're going to do a one-day strike. Like the woke versus woke world is so pathetic. It's absolute horseshit. Like, you're either on strike or you're not.
But you need to have the the next slide, which is yesterday's news that Biden administration is bailing out $35 billion pension out of Ohio for 40,000 workers. Oh, why didn't
No, it's more than that. It was 350,000 workers.
I thought it was 40,000.
And retirees. And I think it was even a bigger number than that.
Which is the absolute horseshit, opposite, again, it's just like, are you even, where's all this money coming from? They're just printing it out of nowhere, and inflation is not a problem. It's going to go away.
Yeah. So let's go to the absolute truth. And I can actually share the screen for this one because I got it up. Let me share, and then we can just jump right to price discovery on the markets and how they've reacted to this to the news, which was PPI today.
Mhm.
And this was a share from Kathy Jones. Thank you, Kathy. I mean, it's a bell curve, Matt, so it should be getting better. The problem is the government's going to get involved, and just like with the jab, we're going to see another spike to highs in 2023. It's
Mhm.
not going to be a simple bell curve. It's crazy too to read, you know, the people, the take on this, that it's okay, it's going down. It's still over 7%. How is that okay?
Right. Looks like it's just, going to a level where it's going to take off again. I mean, as long as it holds that.
Well, we could see a double top. We could see the double
Yeah.
gal. We could see the triple Galaga out of this.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
go to the bonds or go to the whatever you want to go to, because
Yeah, well, the bonds, we've been talking about them, and they actually, I told you the other day that as we got up towards 147 on the UB, so I'll bring that up just as reference. We talked about it. It got up to 146.17 right into the number, I think, this morning. And well, it wasn't pretty, Bob. So now the bonds are saying, wait a minute, wait. I thought inflation was over. Not so fast. That's what the bonds are telling us. So real quick here, we went from 146.14 again overnight. Again, I was short I had some offered all the way up here to 147. I did not fill, obviously, but I was short a little bit, thankfully. Again, sometimes you just have to be in. You're not going to get the perfect price. So even if I was short at 146 and had it go against me, I was ready for that. And that's part of the plan. So I think what you have to look at here is, and what's interesting is that we've talked about this. This is a tabletop formation again, where we have these explosions because of of what somebody said on Wednesday, right? It was another talking head spike up on the bonds and then whoosh all the way down. Like did that happen? I mean, these are violent moves. So if you were short here, you got racked. If you were long here thinking, okay, now this thing's going higher, you got racked. There's no trend in this market. And I keep talking about this. So that's when you're going to see these tabletop formations, which are not easy to trade. Like, if you're a momentum guy like you, Bob, you got whacked both ways.
Well, yes, for sure.
Yeah. So I just point this out because now you're getting short. Maybe now is not the right time to get short, but it was into the strength. So just, keep this in mind. Anyways, the bonds, again, they've had this huge parabolic spike back, but we've talked about it. I still think we're going to see 8% interest rates at some point in the first half of next year. We reached up to 7.1, 7.2 on the 30-year. So now we're back to 6. We've given back some. So now is the time that I think this thing's going to roll over again. It's the year-end maneuvering that's going on here. Anybody that was caught short down in here is getting wiped out.
I think, yeah, right, and I think fundamentally even more. Nobody has seen that type of move, and if you caught that move, and now because you don't know how big the give back's going to be.
Right.
So there's plenty of people that have been short and caught most of this move that continually pile in to get out of their shorts.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Right. Once those fake buyers are gone, then we go down again. That's how a bear market works. And that's why they're so difficult to trade. And again, this generation of 15 years of only going that one way does not know how to trade in a market like that. So I think it's going to be even more exaggerated in this market versus any time in history. And again, we're at a time in history that we've never been at, and nobody knows what's going to happen.
You're along that thread. I read a really good thread about that exact thing, about the inversions and how they've always meant something, but we've never had an inversion with the amount of quantitative easing and all the other tools that they've deployed. It's different. So I mean, I said it yesterday, when you look out the curve, there's not are you telling me for sure what's going to go on a year from now, 2 years from now, which makes it's going to be great trading markets for the foreseeable future, because there is so much uncertainty in all of these modelings and everything that they thought they knew about modern monetary theory and all of this. voodoo bullshit. Let's just call it. Yeah, let's call it what it is. All right, Matt. Let me share this tweet because we gotta talk Lulu. It just this was staggering. This was not on my radar to bring up, by the way, until I saw this tweet, and I said we have to talk about it. Lulu has 1.7 billion worth of unsold merchandise, a whopping 85% increase from last year. That's a lot of yoga pants. Thank you, Jack Farley, 96. Man, I don't think the Lions can have enough onesie Lululemon uniforms to make up for this. I don't care if the whole NFL goes to Lululemon uniforms. That is
again,
staggering.
this is why I've been saying be short Lululemon. And if you were listening again, you got paid yesterday on that earnings, and that's the reason why that information came out and why you're seeing it. The earnings were yesterday after the close. The stock peaked on Thursday, just yesterday also, or excuse me, this was a week ago. The second peaked at 387. And again, I've been talking about it. You don't want to be long these names into the, because this has been it has had a nice bounce here over the last, since June when we bottomed at 252. We went up 50%. 50%, Bob. For God's sake, don't be a pig. And just because you own it from 500, you cannot discount a 50% move that we just had from 250 to 387. And I say this in all seriousness. This is how you have to look at the markets. Where did we just come from? Here before here. So this low here was this was just a great setup into the earnings. And I was short Lulu. I had puts. And these things are paying big. Again, know the calendar. And here's the numbers. Their numbers were great. But once you dig into the fundamentals, they beat, Bob, or they're right at the numbers. They beat by 20 cents, 2 cents on the earnings, and their sales were up 42 million extra. So
let me ask you a question. How could they have been up 40? How can those numbers be legitimate if they have 85% more inventory than last year?
Well, no. This doesn't count inventory. That's a whole separate thing. That's a balance sheet thing, Bob. This is an income statement. So again, We'll go back to Finance 101. And now you dig into the numbers, you're like, holy shit, they got a lot of product on their books. And here's what happened after that earnings announcement last night. Whoosh, here it was. We were trading at 375 and we're all the way down to 327, Bob. That's, it's a solid, what are we, 12, 13% down from yesterday already, down $47. And again, where can this thing go? A lot lower. And again, if you have 8 pair of $100 spandex pants, do you need another pair really right now?
Especially Probably. Because they're killing the climate with their
oil-based products,
with their petroleum-based products.
Correct. Where's the outrage from all the liberals who wear this product, the progressives who supposedly are driving the EVs? Where's the outrage at the yoga studios and the Pilates studios and the Peloton machines? Where's the outrage?
Matt, when I look at that, you say it all the time, floors become ceiling, ceilings become floor. So that's a floor that it went right to perfectly. So it could dig in here.
Well, but again,
wait a second.
The COVID low, Bob, is down here at 128. We're at 327. So
all I'm saying is if it can't hold that floor and it starts spending time back inside that profile, it's pretty cut and dry. That it can go fill that whole big ass hole there that on its way down to its longer term point of control.
Up for things like this that we talked about yesterday, and we'll talk about it again today because the Ann Arbor Housewife Index came out today, which the sentiment was better than expected, but still shitty. And the consumer growth, debt growth is accelerating at a pace we have not seen before, right? We're almost above where we were in 2012 when, the max credit was, growing there. And and that was the end of the cycle there. We're not near the end of the cycle here. We haven't even begun. We haven't had job layoffs. We haven't had discourse. We haven't had, consumer credit rose by 27 billion, which is up to 4.8 trillion in October. Oh my God, that's in a month, Bob. 1% in a month. What do you think November, December looks like with the holidays? let's just get to the end of the year. I'll worry about the Bills next year, right? You know,
Yeah. I know the mentality. I've played that mentality plenty of times.
Revolving debt, non-revolving debt, both of them going right, left to right, up,
and away. All right, Matt. That's really all I got. That's really all I got to talk about today. I watched the Monday night game Thursday night game. Correct me, thank you. And say what you want about Baker Mayfield. It was an incredible.
I was calling for, I've always said he sucks, but what a performance. It was unbelievable. One of the best.
It was Sandlot football. They simplified the game. Everybody's like, how did he learn the playbook in 2 days? And they told you, wait a second, the offensive coordinator, somebody there in LA, and part of that whole offensive scheme, he spent a couple years with in Cleveland, right? So, and the league, I don't care what you tell me, the league is so similar every single offense. It's right. It's ISO running plays with play action off of those ISO running plays, bootleg and or just straight drop back off the play action. So it's a simplified game plan to begin with. And he executed it fantastic, man. It was unbelievable. I could not. And the thing that blew me away was Al Michaels saying, on Monday night, Brady came back 2 touchdowns with 3 minutes to go and won the game. Let's see if Baker can. He gets the ball with 98 yard, on the 2-yard line with 1:30, no timeouts. Yeah. I mean, what were the odds of that?
Slim to none.
Really. Right. Yeah. That had to be a good payday.
Yeah, but again, there's not a bet on that you probably could have bet.
There should have been. There should have been with money against
Davey
money.
Boy should have been on that. He should.
Right. He should have us.
He should not be talking about SBF. He should, be expanding his business and coming up with ideas like this to make more income. Because that's the only reason I'm watching that game at the end of the day, because I could care less about Baker, the Rams, or the Raiders, really, right? I don't care.
It's a beautiful thing too of in time parimutuel style betting, like where you don't get the odds. The with money and against money sets the odds, right? Because when you see the odds, it changes what you think, right? So if you're just like, no, he's not gonna, or yes, he is, you could have really seen, nobody thought he could do it except you, Matt Davio, the don't.
Yep.
He puts $2 on it, and he's the only one that bet with him, and he wins the whole pool.
Right.
I mean, the parimutuel style is fantastic.
Speaking of, listen, we don't have college football except for the Army Navy, which some people argue is the greatest game ever. I'm like, what are you talking about? It hasn't been the greatest game ever since the 40s.
Since the forward pass.
Since the 40s, exactly. Anyways, that being said, it's not a bad game to watch.
Oh, you gotta love the pageantry. What's wrong with tradition?
Nothing wrong with it.
There's nothing.
And it's the only game on, so you'll watch it. Now, coming to the pros, I got a couple things here this weekend. Can you believe it? The Lions are hosting the Vikings. Who do you think's favored?
It can't be.
The Lions are favored.
It cannot be.
The Lions are favored, which tells me it's a sucker line, and everybody's going to pile on the Vikings. Take the Lions. Take the Lions.
Folks, who had what week is it in the NFL?
It's
Matt
13. I'm guessing.
He says that the DNA does not run in him, but that lion blue blood.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, this doesn't happen. So something's wrong. So the Lions are going to win this game. Take them on the money line. Even, I mean, geez, they're minus 126. I can't believe it, but take it. Jets and Bills, again, we're at minus 9.5. If you can get it at 10, take the Bills. Sorry, Lee. And Steelers Ravens, again, you got new quarterback, backup quarterback, flip a coin. Again, this looks like a sucker line. I would say, again, take the Steelers at home minus 2.5 because you think the Ravens should win that game. And then you got Eagles, Giants, fly Eagles fly. I mean, how can you not take the Eagles minus 6.5 at the Giants? Again, I don't bet pro, but I'm going to just give you my gut on these games today. Browns, Bengals, again.
Close your eyes and throw the dart.
You got to take Joe Burrow, I guess, at home. Titans again versus Jaguars. After my Lions wax the Jaguars, you got to go with the Titans. They got a good D. And then Cowboys, Texans, got to take the Cowboys. I don't care how many points they're given. Take them.
So is that the only 10 plus point game?
That's up to 17.5.
I know.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, it is. It is the only. And last night the Raiders were 6.5, so they busted everybody's boat at the end there. I mean, literally, like that second touchdown, they were still up. You were still up at 16-10 with 6.5. So, geez, if you were a Raiders guy, you were bummed on that game on so many levels. Jeez, horrendous.
All right. Anything else, man? Anything else? You know what I wanted to ask you? What's your favorite? Since we started in the kitchen, Matt, why don't we just end in the kitchen? Why wouldn't we? For me, the success of a good party is ending up in the kitchen, right? Redoing, reheating, mixing more cocktails and cranking tunes in a kitchen, right? Yeah, everybody goes out to the patio, goes to the living room, goes to the basement and plays games. For us Midwesterners, where there's basements, right?
Yeah.
The party disperses, goes all over the place, right? But at the end of the night, where does it end up? The party ends up in the kitchen, right? And so what is your favorite kitchen tune? If you could, I mean, I know it's pressure, it's off the top of your head, but you're in the kitchen, it's 1 a.m, you're mixing some late night cocktails and reheating some food.
This album and this song called Dinner Party by Young and Sick is an amazing background. The whole album is different. It's again a young kid making this music in his garage. And this song Dinner Party is just about what you're talking about, setting the tone, the mood, the style of whatever it is you want to deliver at your dinner party. So check out Dinner Party by Young and Sick. And this entire album called Brother is fantastic. Coast to coast.
Good. We don't. I can't hear it very well, but what I'm hearing, I love the vibe.
Yeah,
I love the vibe. Fantastic. Right here at Market Vitals, like you don't get that on Jim Cramer's show.
And how about you? What do you like, Bob?
You know, usually like late night, like that. I'm big into like a Van Morrison track. You know, I'm big into tunes that you can sing along to, and
you can never go wrong with Van Mo. Can't go wrong with Van Mo.
You know, people don't know, people do know the words. It's so great too, late night, you know, when people have had a few too many and they're loose enough to sing lyrics, right? and then you hear the lyrics that they think go to the song. I mean, I don't think I've ever laughed harder in my life than some of those occasions where you look at the person and you're like, what did you just sing? What did you just sing? What do you think the lyrics are?
I'm guilty. Everybody's guilty.
Right, everybody's guilty. But a few cocktails and you loosen up and you start singing it like
really singer. Really crooning it, the words that you think. Yeah.
I'll never be your big suburban. What did you just say? I'll never be your big suburban. It's Beast of Burden. A walk for miles. Okay, I kind of get it.
It's a beast of burden.
I'll never be your big suburban, 6 miles to the gallon. My feet are hurting. Anyway, that's what we got.
Well, I got one more for you drinking games fans, because Tim Knight actually killed it with this one. Okay. And then this is about the SBF.
Please read them for us.
The SBF circus show that's going to begin next Tuesday in front of Congress, right? When this happens, you drink one shot. Begins with because you remember how he says that all the time. So next one is he asserts main desire is to be helpful. You drink.
Right.
Mentions that he is, quote, embarrassed. You drink. Blows a kiss back to Maxine Waters.
2 drinks.
Blames Alameda trading for the mess. 2 drinks.
2 drinks.
And can't remember something, you got to triple bang it. And regrets declaring bankruptcy, triple banger. So there's your rules.
You know what?
Tuesday's game, and I think the so is going to kill you. Right,
exactly.
Even though it's the single shot, it's the one that's going to happen most. So because that's how he enters every inquisitive moment. So
let me
let's
add
just
something.
pause. Yep.
Let me add something. So we're going to add another shot. So after if he says my lawyers have told me that I should plead the fifth, that's another shot on top of the so.
Because he has not said that yet.
He has not, but God, believe me, coming down the pike, there's going to be a lot of that. So my doctors have informed me that
My doctors have informed me that my medicine does not allow me.
My doctors. Did I say doctors?
You
My
did say
lawyers. Doctors.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
No, but again, I think you can go with. So my doctors have said I should not respond because I'm on these medicines that I'm supposed to be taking, but they may affect the way that I answer questions. That's another one that you could do 2 drinks for, because he obviously touched on that a little bit in the last little sit down with Sorkin. So.
All right, man.
All right,
again. Thank you. Thank you, Lee. Please visit Amazon.com. Get yourself a manja bundle, and get some shrimp mojo, and get ready to have the party end up in your kitchen. You know, it's a good party too when it ends up in the kitchen, because that means everybody didn't just leave, like they're still there. It's like you have to end up being Ted Knight, and like, don't you have homes? Can you please leave mine? All right, that's what we got. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Lee.
Peace. Oh, and by the way, today is the 9th. So we begin the 12 days of Christmas next week. So just keep that in mind.
Absolutely. I'm ready.
All right.
I'm ready.
Peace.
Maybe 11 days is good enough for me.
Maybe 9.